Now that you've connected the IP camera to the NIC port on your computer or laptop, and you've downloaded the config tool, you're going to go ahead and open it up so we can pull up the camera's IP address. Select the NIC port that you're using on the bottom and click refresh, and we see now that this camera has the IP address of 10.1.1.65. We're going to go ahead and modify our NIC to match that address so we can get into the camera's settings and change it. Right click on the network icon and select Open Network and Sharing Center. Then click on Change Adapter Settings on the left. Highlight your NIC card, right click on it and select Properties. Highlight Internet Protocol version 4. Select Properties. Normally you'll be set to DHCP like this. Just select Use the following IP address and then enter an IP address that matches the scope of the camera. The camera was on 10.1.1.x. We're just going to make it the default gateway. Make sure that your subnet mask matches as well and click OK. Click Close. Now we'll open up Internet Explorer. And if you haven't done so, you'll need to change a few settings in the Internet options. Click on the gear icon in the top right. Select Internet Options. Select the Security tab. Trusted Sites. Sites. In the bottom left there is a box that is by default checked. You'll have to uncheck that. And then enter in the IP address of the device that you'd like to add to Trusted Sites. http://10.1.1.65. OK. Click Close. Then click on Custom Level. You're going to scroll down to ActiveX Controls. All of these need to be enabled. By default, not all of them are enabled, so go through them and make sure you highlight the radio button next to Enable. Click OK. Click OK, or Yes, and click OK again. Now we can go to the device's address, http://10.1.1.65. Here you may be prompted to download a few things. Do so. They are the ActiveX controls that will allow you to change the settings on the camera. Then enter the credentials to log in. I'm not worried about video here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on the Setup tab in the top right. Let's go to System on the left and select Default. Click on Default, click OK. That doesn't default everything though, so we're going to go up to the top here and select Camera, Conditions, and we will select Default and save. Go to Profile Management tab, Default, Save, then we'll go to Video, and we're going to click Default on every one of these and save it. And lastly, we'll go to TCP/IP and click on Default. This is going to bring it back to 192.168.1.108. Now, given that the scope of our network right now is not 192.168.1.x, we're going to have to go back and alter it again. So we'll go into the Properties, IPv4, and we're going to change the IP address to match the scope. Click OK, close, and it brought up the login page for the camera. If you are connecting one of our PoE NVRs No other changes will need to be made here. You can just connect it. The PoE NVR will negotiate an IP address with the camera, which as you can see it already did one time before, and assign it to a channel. If you are attaching it to a network using a PoE switch that is not integrated into an NVR, you will need to make sure that you're not going to have an IP conflict on your network. If two or more devices share the same IP address on a network, all of the devices will stop communications on the network until the IP conflict has been resolved. So that's definitely something to look out for. But other than that, you can continue on with whatever configuration settings you had and reconnect it to the network.